gentlemen, let's talk about today's. Let's talk about today's. Honestly, let's talk about music. Aren't you feeling good today? Huh. We'll get to that in the breaking news. Hey, so I just want to put this real quick disclaimer out before I put anything. One, say it from the bottom of my heart. I have no affiliations with either artist, any artist being spoke about. However, I do want to say another thing. You will hear in the beginning of the both interjections, I sound different. I'm using a different mic. I want to see how these mics play around, so I can give you the best quality while listening to this podcast. So I'll definitely be trying different sounds and different voices and different microphones. Just as up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so without further ado, let's talk about Scary Hours Part 2. I say Part 2 because I think the first Scary Hours we got, it related to, well, it was Scary Hours, it was an AP, but it was the first one that had the legendary God's Plan, which Trippie Redd was supposed to be on, and Diplomatic Immunity. Now, but Drake showing the love to the Miami area, to the Florida, Lauderdale County, or Miami part of Florida. I thought it was only right to listen to Scary Hours Part 2. While there aren't any references to Florida in this album, or in this period, I thought it was a good idea to talk. Well, we only got 3 tracks. They're 13 minutes long. The second track has a Lil Baby feature. The third track has a Rick Ross feature. And Ricky Rose and Drake really never go wrong. So, I want to start backwards on this album. So, I think this album overall is honestly one of the better of the two. Well, I did like God's Plan. And I did love Diplomatic Immunity, so I'm not gonna count them completely out. But I do like the Rick Ross line where he's saying it's time to give away a rave. I think that shows because they both love Rick. They both love Rolls Royce. So when he said it's time to give away a rave, I feel like that's just him like saying, hey, we don't pay homage, right? So I do enjoy that. However, that being the longer part of the album, I think we get subtle lines when he's like, when it's like he's eating lunch with the judge he's supposed to be in front of, or you're just saying he has close ties, and I think this line says it all. He says, we all thanks to Wayne, but no one is more thankful than me. And I think that bar can be interpreted 2 different ways. As everyone put Little in their name, I can see why he said everyone prays thanks to Little Wayne. Because they're like, I got Little from Little Wayne. And I can understand that, but him also saying that Wayne co-signed me and put me on, I understand that too. And I think that paying homage to that is just paying like homage to Little Wayne, giving his credit, giving his flowers while he's still living. That's great to me. While you hear Wants and Needs featuring Lil Baby. You hear Leave Me Out the Comments, basically leaving me out of the drama. We all got sins. We all got a lot of sins. That's self-explanatory. He said, I charged my ex for a feature, which I'm not sure who he means by I charged my ex for a feature. I could be SZA is what I'm thinking, personally, because I can't remember a lot of exes he went out with. Then you have probably go Leia with Yeezus, and I don't know if y'all know this, but Yeezus was one of, so Ye calls himself Ye. I think that's a clever word. Yeezus is also I know it's a shoot, but it's also Kanye's album. I think his most controversial album was Jesus, and I believe that's what he's referring to. He's saying so he can find Jesus. He's calling it Jesus, so he can find Jesus. Because Kanye put out that album. He put the two gospel albums out. That there were people that liked the gospel album. I do like Father Stretch Your Hands, and but that's a different story because it's the life of Pablo's Father Stretches Hands and stuff like that compared to the church version of that, which I'm getting off topic, but I think that's what he's saying when he says Jesus. To get close to and I have a lot of confessions, and it would turn us up. Saying it wasn't ready for him, which could be linked to Kim Kardashian. I'm not sure. I'm just saying how he looked, because he did say in another interview he looked up to Ye, but the microphone faded. So take that how you will, but I took that as, hey, well, you know. Plus, Drake was in a lot of. I think Drake was in a lot of drama, not really a lot, but I think when they found out he had a kid and him pushed it to you, like, just leave me out the drama. Leave me out the comments, leave me out the drama. And now we come up to what's next, the first song on this album. And you hear songs like, you're giving your chain away, that's like giving your fame away, and I feel like there are some artists that are very attached to their chains. I don't think he is. But I think when you hear that line, you're like, oh, a lot of people are attached to their chains, and you know, being snatched, which I don't think people do anymore, but being snatched could really hurt some people to sell their chain and be like, I'm giving away part of myself. But now he's saying people want to see how he lives, so he just goes through what he did in the summer. He rested. New Year's Day he stretched it. He put that on the story. He was in the gym on New Year's Day. Summer he rested. Well, it's which kinda, because that's what Valentine's Day is for. Understand that. Then we hear what everybody. He said everybody wants to know my day to day. And I think this is a misconception because people, away from the album for a second, people say, when you get fit, they want to see your day to day so they can do it, or maybe they can do it so people have dreams, and they want to see what their dreams are, because if they got their dreams, they can do the same thing to reach their dreams. He also says, "Boss, I grew into it," and I'm not gonna deny he did grow into it because he made OVO. From Lil Wayne's cosign, he made OVO. So I get that when he says a line like that, it becomes catchy, it becomes a scheme, but I think it's true. With him being the bigger artist, the two artists I'm going to talk about back-to-back episodes, I think looking at this, he is the bigger artist. Overall, he's a bigger artist. He had his own label. That's another conversation when we get into contracts and stuff like that, which I hope we get into. But that's another conversation about contracts and people getting paid. So he's saying, a boss I grew into. Because he did grow into a boss. He got his own company. I'm not entirely sure, but he should be out that contract with Young Money. So now everything will be exclusively OVO. Salute. But overall, I do like this album. There are some catchy lines. Like when the baby says, like when Little Baby says in Wants and Needs that he's featured on, he says, "Hey, a shark in water, you can't eat with fishes," and I think that's a line. I don't know if it's like the rat line that we've been hearing a lot lately since Takashi had some hot water. But the whole rat there is, if you hang with rats, you a rat. So that could possibly be what he's referencing, or he could just say, hey, if you want to be a shark, you can't hang with people that don't have the same mentality, dreams, and motivation like you. And if that's what he's saying, I get that too. That's definitely both sided. And I don't recommend this, but if you are into it, go deeper into it where he goes, like, he like two girls at the same time, but they're both tens. See, it's a word on play. Like two girls at the same time, but they both tens, because the E, T, and N. But I like that. But it's a clever word. It's a scheme and nice wordplay. Overall, I do like all of these. I think my favorite on here is Lemon Pepper Freestyle. Even though it is long, but you get to hear his day to day. So I think that's why he says what's next. Everyone wants to hear his day to day. So Lemon Pepper Freestyle, freaking Rose. You hear him talk about his day to day, which is great. We need more artists to talk about their day to day. We're not going too much detail into it. I think overall this is a general decent good EP. While the other did have two EPs. Wow, the other EP, Scary Hours, had two. Well, the first EP, the Scary Hours 1, had two songs. God's Plan, My Community. I loved it, My Community more. I do love that song more than God's Plan. God's Plan isn't a bad song, personally, to me. However, I do feel that Dim My Community had more of like a planning and critiquing thing. Scary Hours 2, the second EP, I do prefer Lemon Pepper Freestyle a little bit more than the rest, but these are definitely not to skip. These are definitely, like, if you're looking at it like an album that dropped on the 5th, this is something, or an EP or an album, I definitely wouldn't pass this up. It's definitely a good listen to. It definitely has playback value, but I don't know if this is your taste. But as I'm saying, if your taste is more about you want to know their day to day, you want to become a boss, I would definitely say this is like something you would want to listen to or give a listen to, because it's besides it being like rhyme schemes and stuff, I think it's a good motivator to always see you can always go higher, which I think in this time people do. And you hear him say, you hear Drake say in one of his lines, it's a real subliminal. He says, albums like 5 drills. I can't clarify this yet. If I can, I'll put it in a disclaimer in another part. But he says albums are like 5 drills. I don't know if he means like five drills at a construction site, and they're just going down, down, and down. Like the sales are going down, down, and down, or if he's saying like 5 drill albums, and they keep rising, which I can understand that because he did put a lot of drill rappers on, so I can understand that. But I'm just saying, if that's what he's coming to, it's perfectly fine. But definitely over this, I do rate this at 7 out of 10. I hate that it wasn't longer. And that was an EP, but I do wish it was like 5 songs, 5, 6 songs, a little longer. I do like it though. Yeah, definitely see y'all in the next one.